If you see more law enforcement than usual at Bullard ISD's intermediate campus this week, no need to be alarmed. Those officers are using the summer break to go through active shooter response training. KLTV7's Christine Guevara shows us how that training has changed in recent years.
Sit! Moving! Move!
Alert, or Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training, has been around for over 20 years. But today, the amount of training and the way an officer trains is different.
Initially, the training was just get in and find the bad guy, right, and stop the killing. That evolved into officer medical care and providing first-line medical care for the injured.
In response to the 2022 school shooting in Uvalde, a state bill was passed during last September's legislative session that mandates all Texas police officers to attend 16 hours of active shooter training per 2-year training cycle. And today, Bullard ISD hosted just that, with alert-trained DPS officials teaching the course.
This is so beneficial to us because at the end of the day, every officer in the state of Texas is trained the exact same way, the basic fundamental entry for an active shooter. So if I'm engaging a target, there's God forbid an active shooter here, no matter who's coming to have my back, those guys have the same training as I do, and we can work together to engage the target and eliminate it.
Preach on me, preach on me, preach on me.
Because before, we may train different than another agency, and they may train different than another agency, so to always be on the same platform is huge.
Christine Guevara, KLTV 7 News.
And that training will continue through Friday. Among the agencies taking part, Bullard ISD Police, Bullard PD, the Smith County Sheriff's Office, and Jacksonville Police.